Good evening and welcome to episode 213 of the Miners Den Show. Say hello to a couple of people. G'day Maddie. All right. Gabby. Duddles Outdoors and Adventures. Jess. Tig. G'day Corey. Hi Jason. Welcome Walter. The Coffee Bush Kid, back again, thank you. Adam's Golden Travel, good to see you in again. Hello Victorian Prospecting. Jason. Lots and lots of people coming into the feed, which is great to see. We're not too far off getting a start now. Just putting the finishing touches on again, and we'll be back with an action-packed show for you very, very shortly. G'day, Anton, Tom, Natasha, Sherry, Silvana. Lots and lots of people getting on there now. Let's go quiet for a moment, and then we'll be back with you very, very shortly. Welcome to the Miners Den Show, Australia's most informative prospecting live stream. This is the place for the latest tips, tricks, videos and entertainment for the gold prospecting or treasure hunting enthusiast. In tonight's episode, are you living the dream? Learn how you could win a Nocta Legend metal detector. We continue to test the Algo Force E1500 Plus in an area with high EMI interference. Jamie continues the fascinating story of Lasseters Reef, and I'll be giving away some fantastic kit to help you in the great outdoors. I'm Gold Digger Dave, let's get digging.
There's nothing like the sound of gold under the coil when I'm out there swinging my detector. That signal so sweet when I hear that beep beep, couldn't think of many things better. I heard some old tin that nearly got me in, and that piece of lead really had me sweating. But there's nothing like the sound of gold under the coil when I'm out there swinging my detector. All those little rusty nails I've dug to no avail, although the signal didn't sound good. But there's nothing like the sound of gold under the coil when I'm out there swinging my detector.
Well, the first of our demo days on the Algo Force E1500 Plus and the Nocta range of metal detectors took place last Saturday in Bendigo and was well attended with around about 12 to 15 people learning what these up-and-coming metal detector companies are offering in cutting-edge technologies. People experienced why Nocta and Algo Force are taking market share from the older, more established, overpriced companies and delivering innovative, competitively priced options for finding gold, coins and relics over ground that was considered previously worked out. A sausage chisels were put on at lunch, and Miners Den team of metal detector experts were available to guide people to the correct unit for their needs. Keep watching to learn the date of our first demo day in 2025 for our Melbourne customers. Now look, the rise in the gold price has been exponential over the past couple of months, with the gold price regularly sitting above the $5,000 Australian per troy ounce. And this week was no exception, with the price again hitting a new record. This year alone, the price of gold has increased by roughly $1,000 per troy ounce. Checking the current live price, we can see that it's currently sitting at around about the $5,186 per troy ounce in Australian dollars. So, The new Nocta detector is actually a lot of buzz around about that in the metal detecting industry at the moment. A new PI machine that is coming from Nocta Metal Detecting Technologies. We still don't know a lot about it, but here's what has been released. Patents were registered last month with IP Australia. There are two models apparently to be released, one for gold nuggets and later a PI coin and relic model. The name of the new machine is called a Magnetar. Okay, we don't know much about the name either, but it's obviously some type of technology that we will learn more about in the coming months and, coming weeks and months. So it's going to come in at around about, from what we're being told, around about the weight of a GPX 6000, potentially with the abilities of both the GPX 6000 and the GPZ 7000. One of the few fully submersible PI detectors on the market. It's likely to be released with 2 coil sizes is what we're hearing, and from all indications the price and performance will be more competitive than the other, well, let's say more expensive brand. So if you're looking to get a new high-end detector, then hold on to your hard-earned and wait and see what this up-and-coming manufacturer can deliver. We'll have more information and news as soon as it is released. Okay, now it's time to take a look at this week's Lucky Viewer giveaway. And look, I couldn't put everything out on the set here for tonight because the pan is green. So this week we have 2 of the Garrett 14-inch gold pans, a sniffer bottle that we've got there. We've also got a couple of vials and a magnifier there as well. There's also thrown in with this one of the Garrett gold panning books. So that's about 60 odd pages in that book on how to pan, everything like that. And to give you something to pan with, I've thrown in a can of Gold Digger Dave's Gourmet Pay Dirt. So the full range of Garrett pans and kits are now available in store and online, and they're perfect for panning off Australia's richest pay dirt. Gold Digger Dave's Gourmet Pay Dirt. It's no ordinary gravel. So look, to be in with a chance to take home this fantastic bit of gear, simply comment in the feed on either our Facebook or YouTube feeds whilst we're live, and keep watching to see if you are a lucky winner. In our first video this evening for the show, the Coffee Bush Kid and I take the Nocta legend to an old house site. Let's have a look at what we discovered now. I'm Gold Digger Dave.
I'm the Coffee Bush Kid.
Now, Miss Coffee Bush, we're out at an old house site today.
We are.
We've got the Nocta legends with us.
We've got 2 Nocta legends, Dave, and we are running 2 of the small coils. Now, the Nocta legend comes with the 12-inch coil and the 6-inch coil, but there is a coil in the middle, which is the LG24, which in old speak is like a 10 by 6.
That's it, exactly.
Now, the reason I've put that one on your machine, Dave, is we've detected here before, and there are a lot of targets. And if you actually have a bigger coil, you'll get more targets under it, and it may become a little bit confusing.
Yes.
So if you reduce the size of the coil, you get less targets under it. You can get in amongst everything that's there to be able to find out and go, ooh, that's the one I want. So you're running the 10-inch.
Yep.
I've got the 6-inch.
Okay, what mode do you think we're going to run in on the Nocta legend? It has 4 modes in it anyway, doesn't it? It has park,
field, beach and gold.
Yep.
And we're going to run in the park mode today because that will handle more trash sites. Usually around a house site there will be a lot of trash. So you've got the roofing iron, you've got the roofing nails. If it's been destroyed like this one here has, there's all sorts of wire, there's all sorts of tin.
Yep.
We need to get in amongst it all, Dave, so we can find the non-ferrous gems.
Fantastic. With that, I think we're ready to go and have a bit of a hunt.
I think so.
Well, looks like you've hit the first cab off the rank here, Mr. Coffee Bush.
I have. I've got a nice, sort of a 43, 44.
Well, you've got your target coming up there, Mr. Coffee Bush. You're saying it's a 43, 44?
Yep.
Would you be keen to have a stab in the dark on what that might be?
I'd always like a silver, Dave. I think a threepence or a sixpence, potentially.
Okay.
So I'm just going to do that. And I was shallow. But the interesting thing, Dave, is that we are just there's a bottle dump.
Yep.
So all the glass is glistening nicely. They did throw coins out with all the old bottles.
Yep.
So, acupoint. There we go. We are... Oh! One of my nemesis, Dave. They always give a really, really good signal. So that is a rivet. In fact, it is a rove and a rivet all joined together. So, predominantly for this place, there may well have been something with 2 pieces of leather.
Yep.
And then you'd put the rove and the rivet through that, pin them over, keep them all together. That's what that is. They always give a good signal. They're either, well, they're a copper alloy anyway.
Yep, yep.
And you must always dig them we did, and there it is.
Okay, perfect. And that round shape gave us a consistent number on the machine.
Yep.
And always, if you've got that consistent number, then you want to be digging those targets.
Shall we move on to the next one?
Let's have a quick look.
Oh, kick the rock out of the way because it's just right there. Look at that, absolutely solid as you like all day long.
Well, Mr. Copybush, you've got your solid numbers coming through at 33.
I have. What I've also got, Dave, is I'm on mass discrimination. So as most folk will know, if I'm doing that because I play in the rubbish dumps,
Yep.
33 and above, 33 is a half sovereign. Hello, Nathan. And we got 33 there.
Okay, let's have another dig there.
Yeah, I will just dig it.
And we will
Oh, that went
see
in
what's
nicely.
in. Okay, taking something out. Nice big clump there.
Oh, there. Oh, no, that's it. Is it? Isn't it? It is, right. It's not a sovereign.
Okay, it's unfortunately not a sovereign, we found out.
But that's a hell of a bloody piece of copper alloy again. I don't even know what that is.
Could have potentially may have been some old type of battery or something, it looks like to me. But
yeah, but you got an inner there. If anything, I would nearly say it was a pedal.
Okay.
Maybe, or even off a handlebar for a kid's trike or something. I really don't know.
No.
But it gave a good solid signal, and so it should have. But yeah, don't know what it is. There we go, something I don't know what it is.
We'll try and find that out for you guys. And
Yeah.
well, I'm Gold Digger Dave.
And I'm the Coffee Bush Kid.
And you're watching
The Miner's Den Show.
As always, great to be out there with the Coffee Bush Kid, and I've got a couple of sites that we're looking to get some permissions on, new sites that should be very interesting. So hopefully we'll be able to bring you those videos in future weeks on the Miner's Den Show. Now I've got a pile of questions here, guys, from people, so thank you again for the questions. Look, Kim's asked, what is the ideal backpack for long days detecting? Well, look, the main thing that you want to have is preferably a backpack that's got a bit of openness on the back side so that it lets a bit of air and things in. You've got to have a D-ring up on your shoulder. Something with a waist strap around the middle will usually be fairly good as well, because that'll allow you to keep the pack on there, and the weight of the machine will hold it in nicely in place. I do see some people are using the camelbacks as well, but the main thing is to have D-rings on the shoulder for where the bungee cord connects to. We've got some new bungee cords on their way in now that are going to be able to make it comfortable and very easy for you to adjust your machine. So thank you for the question there. I've got another one here from Beck, who is asking any thoughts on the new Coiltech coils. Looking at getting one for the Algo Force. We've been out testing the 3 sizes in the new Elite Max coils, and those coils have proved up very, very well. What we have found is that we're running them in the fine mode tends to be a little bit better, a little bit more stable than what I'm running them in the ultra fine mode. Fine mode on the Algo Force, fantastic with those coils, absolutely dead stable and no EMI interference. So it's a very good job that Trevor's done on these coils in optimising them to run on something like the Algo Force machine. So yeah, you can pre-order those online at minersden.com.au or jump into one of the stores in Melbourne or Bendigo, and we'll be able to get you set up with one of those in a pre-order. We've got plenty of them on order, so we'll be able to supply everybody who's ordered them so far the moment they're released at the end of the month. So we'd expect to have stock in, hopefully, for the 1st of May is what we're counting on. Okay, so that's those coils there. If you wanted to get one with an Algo Force, you're looking to buy an Algo Force, we have got some pre-order options up on minersden.com.au as well. So you can pre-order your Algo Force machine with one of the coils from Coiltech there, the new Max Elites, and you'll be able to get that all in one hit once it arrives around about the 1st of May. You put your batteries and all those kind of things with it as well. A whole lot will be pre-ordered, all shipped out to you at one time. Look, Andrew, you'd seen that we'd had the Algo Force machine just available as a machine on its own without a battery pack and coils. Okay, we've done that because some people have their own battery packs. The machine just runs off any of the battery packs that you use for recharging your phone. So power bank, basically. The ones we're supplying are dust resistant and water resistant, and they're 20,000 milliamp hours. That'll give us around about 20 hours detecting time out of the battery. You've also got a smaller one there that's a little bit lighter, but it doesn't have that waterproof standard, water resistant standard and dustproof standard, but it's a 10,000 milliamp hour one. You'll find that that one is also available. A very, very good options for the machine. If you've got your own coils, if you've got a power bank that you charge your phone with, you probably minimum you want is about a 10,000 milliamp hour, sorry. But if you've got a 20,000 milliamp hour, it's just going to run a bit longer. So you can put on whatever those power banks that you would like, and it'll run the machine perfectly fine for you. So that's that one there. I've had one more with Gusto. I struggle to run in sites. Do these detectors make it easier? Where there's a lot of tin, Gusto, certainly the Nocta discrimination is second to none for its level or price point where it is. So yes, you will be able to tell the iron and things like that. It'll knock out most of the iron where there's a lot of iron. And the detectors we're using, the Legend, will certainly be able to punch in around the iron. If I've got a lot of iron or a lot of targets in the area, then I'll typically put on a smaller coil, which comes with 2 coils in the pack anyway. You'll be able to move in amongst the trash and isolate the better targets. So look, thank you guys. Great questions there. Keep them rolling, and I'll try and answer a few more a little later in the show. Okay, so it's time to move on now. We're going to jump into this week's amazing discovery. And 2 metal detectorists in Poland were out with after a beach storm when they spotted something incredible in the cliffside debris. A 2,800-year-old dagger. Now look, this brilliant find dates to the early Iron Age, and it is absolutely stunning. We are talking about a 9.5-inch blade decorated with crescent moons and starlight crosses and intricate engravings. Experts think it may have been part of a solar cult or a ritual offering, but could also have belonged to a wealthy warrior given the craftsmanship. The dagger is now in the hands of a museum where researchers are studying it closely. Well, that sure beats an old rivet and a bike pedal, half their luck. Now look, let's squiz at our current Miners Den competitions. And of course, it's competition time, and this time our friends at Nocta have come on board, and they've offered a great prize for those of you who are looking for a premium coin and relic detector. As I said last week, Nocta are an established metal detecting company that's been making top-of-the-line gold prospecting and treasure hunting metal detectors for over 20 years. The Nocta Legion metal detectors using the state-of-the-art multi-frequency technology and packing features that are not available on other, well, more expensive or overpriced brands. What's more, they come with everything you need to get started on an enjoyable and potentially profitable hobby of coin, relic and treasure hunting, with also that added advantage of having a gold mode if you happen to be heading into the gold fields. Look, the competition has had a lot of entries come into it. It's the Miners Den Live the Dream competition, and that's giving you the chance to win a Nocta Legion metal detector by telling us your ultimate dream discovery in the comments section of our featured Facebook post. The Nocta Legion metal detector will be able to help you turn that dream into a reality. So we've got that put together for you there, guys. Head over to the Facebook page. Lots of entries coming in now. We put up a couple of ads about it. One with Coffee Bush and myself went up the other day. Yeah, really enjoyed the competition. Big shout out and thank you to Nocta Metal Detectors. We'll have some featured clips coming up later in the show all about the Nocta Detector, the legend. The competition's open to all residents of Australia and entries close Sunday, the 4th of May 2025. Full T's and C's are available at minersden.com.au. Now look, our April Gold Digger Dave's Gourmet Pay Dirt competition is open, and this gives you a chance to win $50 Miners Den gift voucher. Buy a can, bag, tub or bucket of Gold Digger Dave's Gourmet Pay Dirt. Take a photo of what you find and share it with us either on our pinned Facebook post or at minersden.com.au. Every month we're going to announce a new winner of a $50 voucher to spend at Miners Den. Well, you could be next. Now you just want to make sure that when you're putting that in there, there's a little tag in the pay dirts, each of the pay dirts, no matter what size you get, and use that tag to help guide you to where to get your photo up there. Here's some of our more impressive recent Gourmet Pay Dirt entries. Look, I don't believe there's any sound on that clip, but I think you got the idea there, guys. Gold Digger Dave's Gourmet Pay Dirt. It's no ordinary gravel. Look, I've got a quick question here from Brian. Love the sunnies, Dave. Where did you get them? Look, those sunnies are one of my favourites. They're a set of Oakley sunglasses, and the gold was why I bought them. Like the gold. Also wraps right around, so it stops me getting too sunburnt on the edges of my face as well. So, yeah, if you look it up, you should be able to get a pair of those. They're Oakley sunglasses there. Okay, next up, we've recently tested the Algo Force E1500 Plus in an area with high EMI. Let's have a look at what we learnt now. I'm Gold Digger Dave.
I'm the Coffee Bush Kid.
Okay, we've got our next target here, Mr. Coffee Bush. This is one that you marked.
It is. I had a little scrape just to make sure that it brightened up, and certainly has brightened up.
Absolutely. That sounded quite good there.
Yep. Let's just, oh, geez, that's soft ground.
Well, it's a bit of a change from what you've been digging so far.
I suppose I shouldn't complain, but no one likes to dig in soft ground.
No, never a good sign.
Though, funnily enough, I have pinged gold in fluff.
Rightio, let's drop this into pinpoint mode.
Yep.
Going to come across and see what it does here. Okay, I'm coming in around that 21, 22, nice stable signal there.
Yep, good, eh?
So take him back out and we're going to do a bit more digging. Now, before we hoe right into it, what is your thoughts?
You knew I was going to do that.
What is your thoughts on what's in the ground here?
I don't know. I think it's too low for a piece of steel.
Okay.
You'd always be hoping for gold.
It's in a good little spot on the edge of a bank there.
It is. They've surfaced around here. It's all washed over. But, yeah, there's only going to be one way to find out.
And that's the way you do it. A Walco pick breaking up the ground here. A little bit softer in this spot here, but you just don't know what could have washed off over the years.
Yep. So the saying I always say to people in the shop, Dave, is you know what's in the ground when you're looking at it in your hand.
Exactly. Let's come over and have a listen again, guys.
Ooh, I reckon I've got to take a little bit.
I reckon it's into the back there a bit more, Mr. Coffee Bush.
I think it is too, Dave.
Okay, that's always a good sign. We like to go deeper.
Let's do that.
Take this out here. Nice loud target. We're getting some pretty good depth out of this. I'm only using an 8x6 coil, guys, and you can hear it's screaming at us now.
And I'm down onto hard stuff, Dave.
Into all that clay and stuff down there.
Yeah.
This could be potentially a good looking sound. Okay.
I would have liked it had it actually still been in.
Could have been sitting on that clay, but let's have a listen here and see what we've got as we come across.
Rightio.
Okay, somewhere just in there.
Yeah.
Scrape up that one. Still there. Got it in your hand
Bit
there.
over amorous with me.
Yep, well, you've got a big pile of stuff there, Mr. Coffeebush.
Right, let's... Oh,
Okay,
she's out.
So it's out there. It's got to be in that lot there.
Right,
It is.
now let's play the game. Nope, wasn't
Well,
that.
Not that one.
Isn't it funny how we always go for the big ones?
Always do. Still in the scoop.
And again.
No, not
No.
that one.
Oh, well, actually, that's not a bad find. And there it is right there.
Okay, so we're looking at the top there. That's 22 lead.
Yep, that is.
You would have thought if you could have worked here with another machine, and because of the power up above us there,
Yep.
these targets are still here. If that had been a piece of yellow, we would have been...
very, very happy, Dave.
could have even brought out the gold dance. But a little piece of lead, 22
bullet.
slug.
Yep, nothing wrong with that.
Very good.
Yep.
That's another target. Let's move on and see if we can't find another one, Mr. Coffeebush. Well, Mr. Coffeebush, we've got another target here, and
We have.
that pole behind us is certainly telling us that we're right where the power lines are.
Yep.
Nice little faint signal here. So have a listen. Oh, it's got plenty bit of volume to it, actually.
Yeah, and look, I didn't really care much what it was because it was a target that I found under the power lines. So
That's right. All right. Well, look, let's rebalance just to make sure we're fully balanced. It's nearly there.
beautiful.
Okay, into pinpoint mode.
Yep.
Okay, we're into pinpoint mode now, so we're going to move it over and see what the target comes up as. Okay,
Numbers, Dave.
that's looking like a 00 to me.
I think I might have. No, we got. I think it might have come up as a 2 or 3 actually.
It does come up as 2. It's dropping between 2, 1, 3. We can see it on there.
Yep.
That one was interesting. It did hit that 00 a little bit there, Mr. Coffeebush.
Yep.
But it jumped up into the 1s, 2s and 3s.
And I think that's why I did it, and because it was under the power lines. You just show this is something. Even if it was a shoddy pellet, I want to find it under the power lines.
Absolutely, and I think it's probably a little bit loud for your shoddy pellet, but we're about to find out.
Yep, we are. I'll just take the first scrape, Dave, before I go gung-ho.
That's it. Let's have a listen over that.
Oh,
Okay,
hang on.
still there.
Is that.
Pick that out. That's it there.
There we go. Well, we can come and have a look at that. That is a big shoddy pellet.
So
But
it came in. That's why it probably dropped onto those 00s on and off there. I think, Mr. Coffeebush.
yeah, but I'm happy with that because it did go up to other numbers.
Yep.
And you just want to know. I want to gain my knowledge.
Yep.
And digging the odd shotty pellet now is not a bad thing to do to gain more knowledge.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm Gold Digger Dave,
And I'm the Coffee Bush Kid,
and you're watching
the Miner's Den Show.
All right, well, if you're keen on taking a closer look at the Algo Force E1500 Plus, you can check them out at the Miners Den Mitcham, or, well, in Melbourne, or the Miners Den Bendigo stores. If you're not near a store, head to minersden.com.au. Now, I did have a question come in from Alan. Look, hi Dave, I recently bought a Legend second hand. It is a pack with only one coil, a 12-inch. I would like to get a 6-inch coil for it. When do you think they'll have those in stock? Well, I just went and checked our stocks, and unfortunately I hadn't ordered any of those there, Alan. I'm going to put some on the next order, and they'll be in stock, I would think, mid next week or shortly after the Anzac Day holiday weekend. So I'll put them up, and we'll try and let you know there when they become available. So thank you for the question there. Well, look, the 2 new Dolly pots from Miners Den Australia have had a price drop. The calculations that were done when the Dolly pots were first made were wrong, and as such they have been reduced to a lower price. From today, our reef sampler dolly pot has been reduced down to $85, and our bigger one, the ball breaker, which you can stand up with, you can smash up with the plunger there, has come down to just $180. Now look, the reef sampler is small enough to put into your backpack and great for sampling reef workings as you wander through the scrub. A ball breaker is for breaking up serious amounts of stone, and it comes with a cap at the top so that all the stone's contained in the dolly pot and you don't lose any of the precious yellow stuff when you're pulverising the stone. So head to one of the Miners Den Metal Detector superstores to check them out or purchase online at minersden.com.au. Now it's time now to have a look at the Miners Den calendar. Our calendar update this time is saying we've still got now the perfect time for heading out to learn to use the finer points of your new metal detector, with the weather being perfect for wandering around the bush in Bendigo. Our competitively priced one-on-one training sessions are proving a hit in Bendigo with people who have been trying to get their heads around their new gear. So if you've got any of the Minelab machines, the 7000, 6000, 5000, 45, 4000 SDC, a Manticore or Equinox series, you can book in online or in store. Now we're also doing some training in Bendigo on the Algo Force and the Nocta Legend as well. So if you've got either one of those machines, you need a hand with it. Each session lasts for 3 hours and includes hands-on experience out in the field with Australia's leading metal detector training organisation. Miners Den Melbourne has got their demo, so yeah, get in, book in. Plenty of dates up there, operating from Monday through to Saturday. Just pick your time, morning or afternoon, and we'll get you out there and show you what to do. Look, we've just come off a successful demo day in our Bendigo store, and our next Miners Den demo day is coming up on Saturday the 10th of May at our Melbourne store. And it will be the first time that we'll showcase our new range of Nocta and Algo Force detectors. The session will kick off at 10:30 AM and will cover both gold prospecting and treasure hunting aspects of the hobby. We'll meet at Miners Den Melbourne, and then we'll head down to the local park where you will learn about these fantastic Nocta and Algo Force detectors and see what they've got to offer. It will also cover all of the other items that you may require to get started in a fun and rewarding hobby of gold prospecting and treasure hunting. Come along and see what the up-and-coming manufacturers are coming out with and experience firsthand the value and performance of these latest technology machines can offer. Once the session concludes, we'll head back to the store and feed you from our barbecue. You'll be able to ask further questions from our team of experienced gold prospectors and treasure hunters. The session is free and bookings are essential and can be made online or in store. Who knows, we may even get you out digging a few holes of your own. Now, of course, if you're not sure which detector to get and you want more of an experience, a little bit more information out in the actual field, in our Bendigo store we run a try before you buy option. So you can take out 3 machines with us, and we take you out into the field in Bendigo. We'll run you through how those machines work, and it's a one-on-one session so that you get yourself a friend if you wanted to come along as well, and you'll get a full overview of what the hobby is all about and all the equipment that you may need. You also get the opportunity to see the workings of the new up-and-coming brands of metal detectors including in the metal detecting landscape, including the full range of Nocta and the mighty Algo Force E1500+. There are sessions, as I said, both afternoon and morning, Monday through to Saturday again. Look, in our last video for the show, Jamie concludes the saga of the lost Lasseters Reef, apparently somewhere west of Alice Springs. Get your maps out and let's take a look now.
G'day, I'm Jamie, back with another episode of Gold Rushes of Australia. In the last episode, I told you about the first expedition in 1930 involving Harold Lasseter to try and find the lost reef. Now, they had to turn back, mainly due to the difficulty of getting their 6-wheeled truck through the deep sand. Now, on arriving back at Ilbilba, Paul Johns, the young German with the team of camels and the Aboriginal offsiders, were waiting for them. Now, Johns told the expedition that he was a dingo hunter that sold the scalps back in Alice Springs. But he also told a pastor on a mission near Alice Springs that he had bought the team of camels in the hope of being hired by the Lasseter expedition. In early September, the new plane arrived carrying pilot Pat Hall and the previously injured pilot Errol Coote. Now, on arriving in Ilbilba, the tank was out of petrol and they decided that the tank was too small, so they were going to send it immediately back to Adelaide to have a tank twice the size that would give them a range of about 1,200 kilometres fitted to the plane. Before the plane left for Adelaide, however, they managed to get Harold Lasseter up in it to try and identify some landmarks that might help spot the location of the reef. Well, when he got back, he told two different stories. He told Blakely, the expedition leader, that they were still 240k too far north of where the reef should be, but he told Errol Coote, the pilot, that they had flown within metres of the reef. Now, Lasseter initially wouldn't elaborate any further, but on being reminded of his contract obligations, he drew a map in the sand, and this included Lake Christopher and 3 hills that he said looked like 3 ladies wearing sunbonnets talking. Now, it was these 3 hills that are said to be at the far end of the reef, about 16 kilometres east of Lake Christopher. Now, immediately after the plane left for Adelaide, the expedition set out again with their truck, moving in a southerly direction, travelling for several days till they got to a spot that Lasseter wanted to get to. Now, it was at this point that Blakely confronted Lasseter and said that in all his stories, he had never been more than 600 or 700 miles south of Carnarvon. And at this time, they were actually around 1,300 miles south of Carnarvon. At the same time, they found that going any further with the truck was going to be impossible. So Blakely decided to call it, abandon the expedition, return to Ilbilba and then Alice Springs to report to the Central Australian Exploration Company for further instructions. Blakely said he also told Lasseter that when they returned to Ilbilba, that Paul Johns and his team of camels may be the only slender chance that Lasseter may have of saving his own and his family's reputation. Well, it sounds like Lasseter got the hint, because on returning, he drew up a contract hiring Paul Johns and his team of camels on £5 a week plus tucker for about 2 months. Well, in mid-September, Blakely and his team watched Harold Lasseter, Paul Johns and the team of camels set out once again to try and find the reef. Blakely said at the time, well, that's the end of my millions, for he thought that if they had found the reef, his cut would be somewhere around £17 million. So what happened to Lasseter and his reef? Well, the only account that we have comes from Paul Johns himself. And I'll tell you what he had to say on the next episode of Gold Rushes of Australia on the Miners' Den Show. I'll see you then.
Well, very interesting again there from Jamie, and I look forward to seeing what he's going to investigate next in Gold Rushes of Australia. Now, look, we jump straight into Ask Dave, where I get to answer your questions that were submitted during the week. So the first up, we have a question here from Kirsty, who asks, are you guys planning on exploring more with sluices and high bankers at Miners' Den? Well, look, hi Kirsty, thanks for the question. We're currently working on a range of sluices and high bankers that will have some innovative features and will come in a number of sizes. Keep watching the show and we'll get some further information for you closer to the release date. So we have been playing around with them, yes. As usual, Miners' Den Australia will deliver a quality product at a price that is the sharpest in the land. Thank you again for your question. Next up, I have a question from Roy, who asks, how about Trump's tariffs? Will this hurt the gold price? Well, look, hi Roy, the Trump's tariffs are likely to help increase the gold price. Usually when you have instability around the world, the gold price starts to rise, and at the moment it seems to rise every time Trump announces something new. We have a fair bit of time to go with the Trump presidency, so it should all be looking good for the precious metal for the next year or so. Thank you for the question, and I hope you're sitting on an ounce or two. Okay, now it's time to announce the winners of the giveaway show, and I'll just grab those. One moment. let's have a look here. It's coming across to me. I just left them over on the bench there, so thank you for that. The winners for tonight was on Facebook is Joe B. So Joe B, congratulations. You're the winner of one of our packs with the pay dirt, pan and the little goodies. On YouTube, it is Gus S. You are the winner on YouTube. Look, if I've called out either of your names there, guys, get onto the feed. Let Corey know your details and he will be able to get those organised for you. If you happen to be near a store, let us know and you can welcome to drop in and pick up those items as well. All right, well, the jig is almost up for tonight's episode of the Miners Den Show. Thank you for tuning in on YouTube, Facebook and TikTok live streams. Let's find out now, well, we just found out who the winners are of our 2 panning bundles there, so congratulations to you guys. And before we go, well, that's all we've got time for episode 213. It's a top show and I hope you've had a great time being part of the Miners Den community. Before I sign off, let's have a look at what's coming up next on episode 214 of the Miners Den Show. So we test the Legends again, Legends high-end features will be tested. We will tell you or see you, we will see how you live the Legend Dream Detecting Competition. Can we find gold with the Algo Force E1500 and much, much more. I'm Gold Digger Dave. Thank you for watching the Miners Den Show.
There's nothing like the sound of gold under the coil when I'm out there swinging my detector. That signal so sweet when I hear that beep beep. Couldn't think of many things better. I heard some old tin that nearly got me in, and that piece of lead really